I put estrogen cream on my face for 30 days and I swear my skin has never looked so good. I feel like I've tried like so many different things for my skin. I've tried different creams, different serums, different treatments. I love skincare. Okay, I know this sounds wild, but the estrogen cream on my face was so different and really changed the game. Let's get into it. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And I'm Tracy. If you're new here, I'm 50 years old and I'm a lover of all things skincare, lifestyle, beauty, wellness, all the things. And we're gonna really do a deep dive on this. And I know it's gonna sound crazy to some of you, but you gotta hear me out. So let's dive into why I decided to put an estrogen cream on my face. And I'm gonna tell you all about my experience with it, the changes that I've noticed, and just some common FAQs and misconceptions. So the kind of estrogen cream that I'm putting on my face is from a form of estrogen called estriol. And estriol has been proven to really have some incredible effects specifically on your skin, on your face. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now, oh my gosh, isn't estrogen linked to cancer? And I completely get it, but let me just explain to you. There were studies that were done in the 1990s, which if you're a 50-year-old like me, to me it feels like it was like 10 years ago, but it was 30 years ago. And those theories have actually been proven that they weren't really accurate. Okay, but here's the thing. Topical estriol is so much more mild. It's a really, really mild form of estrogen. And it's very different than estradiol, which has been used for many, many years, especially for women when they're working with menopause and menopausal symptoms. Estriol is super gentle and it actually stimulates collagen production, which we love. It increases hydration and it improves skin elasticity. We're talking about smoother, firmer skin that looks more plump. And that is exactly what I've noticed since I've been using this. It's kind of bananas. Now let's just start by clearing up a huge myth and something that I definitely do not recommend. So if you're anything like me, if you've been scrolling through social media, you've probably seen a video or two about women that are using their vaginal estrogen cream all over their face and they're touting all these benefits. I don't recommend that you do that because like I said, the estriol, which is really a more mild version of estrogen, it's really gonna help your skin and it's not going to irritate your skin. Whereas if you're using the estradiol, that you would normally put like on your vaginal tissues, very, very different, and I would not recommend that. So here's the deal. The estradiol formulations often have additives added to them, and while that can be safe for vaginal tissue, you don't want to be putting that all over your skin. Not a good idea. It can cause breakouts, irritation, and nobody's got time for that, right? Especially not at this stage of our life. The estrogen cream that I've been using on my face that has completely transformed my skin is the Estriol Plus cream from Midi Health. It's specifically designed for your face and for your skin. So it's way more gentle and it's really great to just give you this idea of like skin rejuvenation, which is completely what I have experienced. And a lot of you have actually mentioned that to me on my channel. So if you're seeing TikToks or Instagram reels with people slathering estrogen cream all over their face that's really designed for your vagina, please don't do it. And you really want to get something that is specifically formulated for the skin on your face. By now, you might have heard that I'm a huge, huge fan of Midi Health, and that's exactly where I got my prescription Estriol Plus cream. Their virtual care for perimenopause and menopause is literally next level, and I love that they make it accessible for so many women, which is huge and what I'm all about on this channel. But now they've launched something called Age Well Visits, and let me tell you, ladies, this is next level and pretty much exactly what we've all been waiting for. So here's the scoop. The Age Well visit is kind of like the ultimate checkup, but on a way more leveled up scale. And it's definitely not that like, hey, let me take your blood pressure and like in and out kind of appointment that unfortunately a lot of us are really used to. We're talking advanced screenings like heart health checks, cancer prevention, and inflammation monitoring. I mean, this is the stuff that actually matters for us, but if we're being honest, we often don't make the time to get these appointments into our calendar, right? Booking your Age Well visit is literally the easiest thing you've ever done. You just go online to their Midi scheduler, and I'm not even kidding you, it takes like 2 minutes. You can schedule it, reschedule it if your plans change. You can find reminders, all of it. Oh, and guess what? It's all virtual, and my favorite part is it's all actually covered by insurance. Like, why isn't everything else in our life this easy, right? And then after you book, you can get access to the Athena patient portal, and that's where you can message your Midi clinician directly. And you're not dealing with some random doctor or practitioner that's going to be rushing you out of the door. I hate that. You're going to get a clinician who actually specializes in women's health. You can ask questions, follow up, handle payments. Literally everything is right there for you. It couldn't be easier. It's kind of like having your own personal health concierge, and we love a concierge. And the best part, it's actually personalized to you. And that's what I talk about all the time here on my channel, right? Your health history, your lifestyle, your goals, it all gets mapped out in a step-by-step plan that's super doable. No crazy routines, no overpriced gadgets. We're talking practical, effective care that actually fits into your life and your lifestyle. So if you've been putting off those big health checkups, or you actually want to know what's happening inside of your body, so just click on the link below in the description box and book your Age Well visit with Midi. I am so pumped for you to try this, because honestly, this is the care that you and I and all of us truly deserve. Finally, it's healthcare that actually gets us. So if you're looking for personalized, compassionate care that's also covered by insurance, book your first appointment with Midi. And like I said, everything will be linked down below in my description box, guys. This is truly like what I wish I would have had access to 10 years ago. It's a game changer. If you don't know where the description box is, underneath my head here, you'll see the title of today's video. Tap on the word more, and then if you're on mobile, you'll tap again. It'll be right there for you. So like I said, Midi Health is where I got my prescription Estriol Plus cream, and honestly, guys, I'm never looking back. So let's actually get into what actually has happened for me over the last 30 days on my skin. No, I haven't had a facelift. No, I didn't get all kinds of filler, but I am telling you, and I see it too, I can see that my face looks plumper, my skin looks juicier, and I definitely am like, wait a minute, do I have a filter on? And literally I don't. So the first week immediately from using it, I noticed that my skin felt more hydrated. What I love about the Estriol Plus cream, it also includes some hyaluronic acid, so you get that sort of hydration from the inside out, which we're all fans of, right? And one of the reasons why I started this cream was I just started noticing the lower portion of my face, which is so frustrating. I was like, oh, I'm just seeing some like fine lines and wrinkles here, and like a little bit of a droop happening, and like, I don't know about you, but I'm not down with the droop. By the second week, I noticed that the texture of my skin started improving, which, who doesn't love that? I started noticing that some of the fine lines and wrinkles around my eyes were just like kind of magically disappearing, which was really exciting. Now, around the third week was when my family, we took a trip to London. And you know, I have to tell you that I did tons of like Instagram stories, and I did some reels, and I was literally looking at my skin in some of the footage, and I was like, did I have a filter on? And especially like if my daughter's there, like everyone throws a filter on Instagram every once in a while, right? But like when my daughter's there, absolutely not. I don't need to filter her gorgeous skin. And I was like, wait a minute, like such a marked difference. So in my experience, it was that 3-week mark where I was like, whoa, something's really happening. And then I could really see the difference, because obviously my job involves being on camera, and I was like, girl, like what is happening? So then by the 1 month mark, I noticed that my skin was much firmer. Like I said, it had that plumpness. It had more of like a bounce to it, if that makes sense. Like I look at my daughter who's only 5.5. Obviously she has perfect skin, and there's just such like a bounce and like an elasticity to her skin, and that's what I started noticing after a month. And all those fine lines and wrinkles that really annoyed me, they started going away. Now, I've been very public. Obviously, I've had Botox, I get Botox, but I really think since using this, I'm gonna be able to stretch that out much longer. And I definitely use it, yes, on my face, but I also use it on my neck and on the back of my hands. And I noticed that I don't like hate my hands as much as I used to, because this is an area for me that tends to kind of really show the age, is my hands more than anything, because they're thinner. So I want to just dive into some FAQs that you're probably going to have, and obviously please do, let's get active in the comments, because I want to hear from you, and I really think this is such a great conversation. In a previous video, I asked you if you guys wanted a whole video about it, and I listen. You talk, I listen. So the first question is using the estrogen cream safe on your face? And for me, absolutely, the answer is yes. Especially, like I said, if you're using an estriol version like I use, like the one that I got from Midi Health. It's much, much gentler, and the formulation that I have was specifically made for your skin. So you get that sort of like immediate results happening within your first week. Now, another question that I know you're gonna ask is like, what about my other skincare? Absolutely. I'm a skincare junkie, and I absolutely do combine it with other additives like vitamin C, retinol, obviously hyaluronic acid. It's like super neutral. I use like niacinamide sometimes. You've heard me talk about glycolipids. So absolutely, for me, you want to use it once a day. It's a measured pump, which I absolutely love. And then I like to put it on my face as kind of like my final step. So for me, I generally will use it in the morning because my nighttime skincare routine is kind of like a lot. So for me, it's like that moisture step in the morning because again, it just gives you that. And again, this is really key. I definitely put it on my eyes, like my eyelids underneath, because no one wants to get crepey or that like yikes kind of texture on your skin. I know we're all aging and today's the youngest that we're gonna be, but we wanna like preserve and just show up as like the best version of ourselves. And this definitely helps. So how long until you actually start seeing results? Now, like I said, I started seeing results immediately within the first week. And you know, I'm the kind of person that's like, I have that magnifying mirror. I'm always looking at my skin. But the clinical studies show that around week 6 to 12 is where you're gonna really see those clinically shown results. In fact, the Journal of Dermatological Science did a study, and it said that estriol improves skin elasticity and hydration in 12 weeks. And there was also a PubMed study back in 2009 that said significant improvements in skin thickness and collagen density occurred after consistent use. Now for me, that's enough, but I'm telling you, this is really different. It's not even just like skincare. It just does something totally different. I notice it on my videos. Some of you have commented on my videos. I really, really see the difference. There's a glow, there's a vibrancy. And again, I really wish I could think of a better word, but it's like that plumpness, that juiciness that like I see in my 5.5-year-old. I'm like, not bad for 50, girl. So over the years, I've tried a lot of things. Some of them work, some of them don't. Some things are gimmicky. This, in my opinion, game changer and totally works. It's sort of like I gave my skin like a little reset button. So like I said, the specific kind of estrogen cream that I use, I got through Midi Health, and you can definitely check out Midi Health. And you gotta remember to book your Age Well visit. That is like, it's like the visit of your dreams. It's honestly what I have been talking about on my channel for years. It's the kind of care that we want, and the fact that, you know, it's covered by insurance, and it's so compassionate, and they really, really understand women. So that has been my experience with using the estrogen cream on my face. 10 out of 10 recommended. I absolutely love it. I think it's like one of the best decisions that I have made. So it's huge. You know, I am a huge fan of HRT. I know it's not for everyone. I am not your doctor. I am not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you all of the hormones and the hormone replacement that I take, it really helps on a systemic level, but using this topically, that was specifically designed for the skin, second to none. So even if you're like, you know, not on the fence about starting an HRT journey, which I totally get and I completely respect, I would highly suggest trying this because it's gonna make your skin like come back to life. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope that this was helpful for you if you've been thinking about it. Again, don't use the cream for your vagina on your face, okay? Please don't do that. We don't want irritation. We don't want breakouts. And if you wanna keep hanging out with me here on YouTube, check out this video next and I'll see you there.